baby.
Yeah.
Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of the arguing and lying. So goodbye, all the hurt and crying. Things will change and you, so how can I expect something new? It's the same old thing.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is July the 15th, 2025, and today the topic is daily direction. Happy Tuesday. Yes, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Monday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. I guess I got a couple little updates to tell you about some things going on around these parts, but we ain't got to get into that right now. Let's talk about the juice, right? Daily direction. So today's conversation. I did wake up from a dream this morning. I can't remember what time I woke up this morning. Because whatever time that was, I was like, I want to go back to sleep. So I, made a note of my dream. By the grace of God, I was able to capture the dream, started some interpreting a little bit, and went back to sleep. And then just continued from there. I did look up verses something around the time I woke up. Again, none of that was something that I wrote down to correlate with the juice per se, but it did, I guess, play a part in my revelations that I received this morning. Shout out to Miss Denise. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning to you. Look, we just made it. It's still morning. But 10 more minutes, it would have been afternoon. But yeah, good morning. Yeah, so like I said, I woke up from my dream, made a note of the time I woke up, ended up going back to sleep. When I woke up the second time, I did listen to the prayer meditation, so I listened to that this morning, which was another continuation about the daily bread. And, so that got me kind of reflecting on, obviously daily bread, receiving manna every day, things of that nature. And so I just pretty much, a combination of all these things led me to today's topic of daily direction. I would even say maybe even my dream, everything was just coming together to show me that, like, well, one, it's a good thing to be receiving from the Lord every day. And then two, I think the Lord wants us all to be like that. You know what I'm saying? He wants us all to be seeking him, and everything like that. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and say hello before I get into it. So hello, realize, and realize. Since you are so positive, I love it. Oh, well. Look, to God be the glory. Like I tell y'all all the time, anything good y'all see in me, y'all just thank the Lord and thank my mama. Shout out to Miss Denise as well, saying, yes, ma'am, happy to be here. Man, it was so interesting because I felt led to start at 11:45, and it was like 11:43 when that came to me, and I'm like, I'm ready now, you know what I'm saying? But I was obedient, and I came at 11:45, and here y'all are. So thank you for being here, and hey, maybe this is for you today. Daily direction. So there's a couple of things I reflected on this morning alongside of my dream and the verses and all that type of stuff. One thing that crossed my mind was that I thought about this YouTuber that I guess I technically follow. I know I followed, supported, her business endeavors, different things like that. And on one hand, it's great. Like I tell y'all all the time, man, it's good to see, like, especially women, right, out here doing their thing, right? They got their businesses, and all this wonderful stuff. They're traveling, they're eating amazing food, they're going to all these events, and it looks great, right? But I don't know. She crossed my mind today, and I'm not trying to act like I'm all this or all that, right? But I think every now and then the Lord just kind of, I guess, maybe share little things. Because a lot of times when you look at situations like that, you put yourself down, right? You're like, well, I don't have 1 million followers, you know what I mean? Well, I don't get a chance to travel around the world right now, you know what I mean? Like, you start feeling that way sometimes. I don't know if it's just me, but unfortunately, every now and then I play the comparison game, right? I try my best not to these days. I try to just celebrate people whenever I think about people in that way. I try not to compare. I try to just be like, well, shout out to them, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I try to switch the mindset, right, in regards to it. But, I'm just going to be honest. It's easy to do that, right? You scroll on social media, especially in my single days. Oh, Lord. You know what I'm saying? You scroll and you see these happy couples and all this stuff. And you're like, when is it going to be my time? All that stuff, man. I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but I'm just trying to be open and honest about how things can be, right? And so anyway, the young lady crossed my mind, and I guess there almost was a comparison to a certain extent. I mean, I didn't mean to think about her in that way. Again, she just popped in my head throughout my thoughts and whatnot, and prayers and revelations, trying to see what the Lord was telling me today. And I feel like it goes hand in hand with this conversation. So anyway, it crossed my mind, and then I just reflected on obviously what the Lord has been doing with me, for me, and through me, especially with GSL. The fact that I can sit here and come every day and give what I call daily inspiration and stuff that's already mind blowing. Like Lord knows, even when I first started doing this, I was like, dude, am I really gonna have something to say every day? You know what I'm saying? And then these days, the stuff that be coming to me, even like this conversation, seems way bigger than me. It seems like some pastor need to be saying this. You know what I'm saying? It seems like somebody that's like got a big congregation. They need to be saying this, right? So all of their people can hear it. And I'm like, and I still see GSL as small, compared to, again, this other young lady or, any other thing. And it seems as if like what I'm sharing here is kind of like, well, Lord, don't nobody really want to even hear this about the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Or, here I am, like, rebuking stuff, like, seem like big pastors with ministries or whatever, like, there's different stuff that comes to me. But anyway, I say all of that to say that when the young lady crossed my mind, one thing that I received today is that, like, thinking on, like, her content and things like that, it just seems very limited, right? Like, she's, and no shade, people love her and everything like that. So she's doing her thing, you know what I mean? But there was something, I feel like what I was receiving today about it was that there's something special about receiving daily bread and sharing daily bread from the Lord, right? Versus just making another, like they say, mukbang video, you know what I'm saying? Or just, normal stuff that people gravitate to, right? People just flock towards these things that are like, at the end of the day, like, what does it mean? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, yeah, it's cool to see her on another trip or something like that. But, like, what's the value? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the fruit from that? Like, for anybody else? Like, maybe it's encouraging. Maybe it's inspiring. Things like that. I'm not saying it's not. But I feel like there's more value to, right, spiritual milk or meat, depending on where you are, right? There's more value to focusing on the things of the Lord rather than, again, the superficial things. And so I hope that can be encouraging to just take a look at this whole daily bread thing. I'm not just trying to shamelessly plug the journal, but I can't help but like think about even what the Lord is doing with me right now, like in being able to create this to hopefully help other people, but then also just taking that time. Because one of the things I did reflect on today was like, you know what, Lord, I do enjoy sleeping, but it's not just because I need my rest, which yes I do. Okay, look, y'all may notice that your girl it's kind of quiet around here right now. That's because, look, shout out to my mother-in-law. She came and got NJ yesterday, and they're gonna go, I guess, have fun in this little water park place and stuff for the next couple of days. And so I slept in today. I slept in a little bit, for me at least, because y'all know I usually am up early, and then he's up early, and so we all up, right, and stuff like that. Anyway, what I'm saying is that, like, I do enjoy sleeping, but it's not just because I'm getting my rest. I enjoy sleeping because I'm getting these dreams. I enjoy sleeping because when I wake up, I'm like trying to understand, okay, look, what are you telling me today? You know what I'm saying? And it's exciting to like feel like you're receiving something brand new almost every day and stuff like that. And so, again, I mean, if you are at that place yet, man, I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to open your eyes and your ears and your mind to what the Lord is saying. Because he wants to give us daily bread, right? He wants to give us daily direction, but we got to open our hearts, minds, eyes, and ears to hear him, right? To see him, to seek him. And that's what the juice is about today. All right. So let me go ahead and get into it because I feel like I done did too much talking. Trying to just share the example. But here are the verses I felt led to write down this morning. Psalm 119 and 105. It says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You know, at some point, again, with the dream and everything that I was receiving today, I just kind of was reflecting on this concept of like God only showing us a little bit at a time. Like every now and then you might get a future revelation or a little glimpse into your future, things like that, right? But for the most part, he's like getting you to the next step and the next step and the next step. I know I heard a minister say before, like, the reason why he does it this way is because sometimes if he shows us the whole journey, we probably wouldn't take it, right? We probably wouldn't walk in the way that he wants us to go because of the ups and downs of life, right? Like even, for example, I'm reminded of my mom right now. So she said that in her younger years, she had a dream about, you know, being married and things like that. But then, and then having a child, X, Y, and Z. But then I think in the dream she noticed like another child or something like that. But it seemed like the husband wasn't there or something like that, right? So long story short, if you've been on this channel, especially over the past year, y'all know that my father, he passed away the same year that I was born. So obviously I was conceived. He passed away in that May. I guess of that next year, and then or however that goes, whatever the months was. So but the months between when I was conceived, he passed away to May. I was born that August. But anyway, these are things she's told me over the years, and I know at one point she was saying to me like, you know, basically if she had known that her first husband, like she feels like now when she reflects back on those dreams that the Lord was letting her know that, you know, basically she wouldn't have the same husband or something was going to happen. And that's the thing, like if she had known that her husband was going to pass, right, that would kind of make you a little scared to get married, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that probably make you a little scared to like go forth and procreate or whatever the case may be, right? And so that's just another example of a real life situation. But I'm just trying to show you guys, like a lot of times if we get the big picture ahead of time, some of us wouldn't walk, right? Some of us wouldn't go forward with things that the Lord is you know, wanted to do in our life. You know, maybe your girl wouldn't have been here, you know what I'm saying, if she had been too afraid to get married, you know, the first time and things like that. And so all I'm saying is that, you know, again, it's okay to just get a little light for the next step, right? A lot of times it's like we don't like that. We like to you know, we like to know the full picture. We like to know, like, okay, what's going to be the outcome? What's going to be the thing? Like, you know, Lord knows, like, it would be great. I know I used to say, I tell y'all often about this testimony of me being in my apartment during the cultivation period. Y'all should know it. If not, okay, here it is again, just in case I got new people. But during that particular time in my life, in my 20s, right? And when I was really seeking the Lord and struggling out here as a single woman, like, Lord, where is my husband? You know what I mean? And all those things. There's one moment that I laugh at today, but in that moment, it was not a laughing matter. I was serious and everything like that. And I'm just seeking the Lord because I felt like, you know, he was taking me down this path of like changing some of my habits, cutting off my friends with benefit, all the different stuff that was going on at that time, right? And I'm like, why am I living like this? At the end of the day, nobody else my age seemed to even care about this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to hold on to my virginity and I'm in my 20s. You know what I mean? I was just going on and on, right? So I know at one point I'm looking up, I was in my apartment. I'm on the bottom level of my apartment, by the way. I was looking up at my ceiling. I was like, can't you let me in on anything? You know what I'm saying? Just looking up and yelling at the Lord like, God, can I just know anything? And then after I was yelling and doing all of that, I felt in my spirit that the Lord was like, nope. I was like, you know what I mean? Just going ham about it. And I laugh now, but in that moment, it was not funny. I'm like, you ain't let me in on anything. I don't know if this is even going to happen. You letting me talk about, you know, this man and this marriage and all this type of stuff, and I don't see none of this around me right now. It's frustrating. It's frustrating not to know what, I guess, the future, right? That's what drives us to all other means, right? These, you know, I don't got to tell y'all about what people do to try to find out the future. But look, I learned a long time ago in my teen years, I learned that the horoscopes and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing much to it as far as I see it these days. I mean, yeah, some things might fit you in your life, but look, I was supposed to have a boyfriend every year that I was getting ready to go to school, and that didn't necessarily happen, you know what I'm saying? So again, instead of like trying to access the spirit realm illegally, right? Why don't we listen to the Lord, right? Why don't we take out time daily with Him, and He will reveal things to you, right? He will reveal what He wants you to know in its timing. So there's lots of things in my life that right now, you know, I walked into this year. I call it no expectations for 2025. And so I've been walking into this year like, you know, Lord, I don't want to even have any like quote unquote expectations on, you know, my life. Like usually I will make a to-do list at the beginning of the year and be like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. I didn't necessarily do that this year. And ironically, goals that have been on my to-do list for years have been accomplished just in these first few months of the year. By just being like, Lord, your will be done. You know what I mean? Like, we taking it day by day. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. Speaking of that, man, I did do therapy yesterday. And I don't know if the lady, the therapist, is feeling like I'm I guess, in a better place. Because I know she just was like, oh, do you want to, you know, start going less or whatever? Because I'm only doing it like twice a month now, or every, you know, bi-weekly. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm cool with the bi-weekly, you know, even though, to be honest with y'all, I feel like I'm just checking in and like updating a friend on what's going on, like in my life. Like, not to say she's not doing anything else. She does give me things of value, but I feel like in the beginning, there was more challenges and things of value, than there is now, if that makes any sense. Because I just feel like we don't have time to really hash out, you know, the stuff the way I need to, you know what I mean? But at the same time, having the accountability, right? Having somebody outside of my, you know, family and friends to talk to about, you know, my life and the things that are going on has been good. And so I don't necessarily feel the need to change. But at the same time, you know, who knows? Maybe at some point, maybe I will just go monthly or something unless something else happens or whatever. But I say all that to say, and I share all that to say that, again, we don't know, like, you know, details and things of that nature. Like, on one hand, you're like, oh, you know, every day, or, you know, Lord, do you have something for me every day? Or, and again, I've been telling her over and over again, I'm like, I don't know. I know change is coming. I know there's things on the horizon and stuff like that, but I'm just taking it day by day. You know what I mean? And I guess what I'm reminded of today is that we all should do that, right? We all should just take it day by day, seek the Lord day by day, because He wants to provide for us day by day. Matter of fact, obviously we're reminded of, you know, the Israelites, right, and how they received manna daily, and He let them know, like, hey, don't be trying to gather up extra things of that nature. And He got the ones that did still went to go do that. I mean, obviously they found the maggots or whatever the case may be in those things when they were being disobedient, basically. You know, the Lord wants to give us fresh provision every day, but we got to be open to receive it, right? And so that, let me keep going. I got another verse for y'all. It's Psalm 37, 23 and 24. It says, the steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be cast headlong, for the Lord upholds his hand. So hopefully that could be encouraging, friends, that, you know what, you know, we're going to fall, right? There's going to be hard times, but like we were talking about yesterday, the Lord's not going to leave us there, right? He's going to be there with us. He's going to carry us through. And it says here, I mean, his step, you know, our steps are established by Him. And so, but what we got to do to, again, walk in that provision, right? Walk in that faith, walk in that peace, is to delight in Him, in His way. Because when we don't do that, we find out, I know for me, I could just recall, I guess I could just keep telling my own testimonies here, because I don't know how it goes for you. But for me, you know, the more I lean on the Lord and just say, okay, Lord, you know, what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm seeing the open doors and opportunities, and I'm going through them as they come. I'm not stressed about, you know, this or that. The more at peace I am. And that's the more I can sit here and come in and share and say this almost every day. Like, I mean, I am more at peace in my life today than I was when I tried to like do it all myself. I feel like we was talking about this yesterday. Maybe it was in the after show. Shout out to those people that were here yesterday. But you know, yeah, a lot of times we like to DIY and we think like, okay, I got to do this and I got to do that. And I'm not saying don't do some work, cause yeah, do some work. Your faith is going to lead you to do work, right? But don't think that your work is going to be the thing that gets you to that next level. Like, it's the Lord at the end of the day. It's according to his will and the plan that he's established for you. So again, it only behooves us to walk into that. Let me give you guys another verse in this First Chronicles 16:11. It says, seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his presence continually. Like I told y'all earlier, man, I enjoy going to sleep because I know these days your girl has been dreaming. Now, I have missed a few of my dreams recently, but there was a time where I was having back-to-back dreams and I was doing my best to, like, anytime I woke up to go ahead and, like, write it down or capture it and stuff like that so I could, you know, go deeper in interpreting and stuff. And the dreams, y'all, like the stuff that's happening in it and the way it fits into my life and the way that it speaks to me, it's truly a blessing. I just only see it as divine. Like, I know people I don't know, I might sound crazy to people that this don't happen to, but I dare you to try them. You know what I'm saying? I dare you to seek the Lord. And all I did before I started receiving, like daily dreams and stuff like that, at some point I just started to pray for prophecy, and I didn't necessarily mean to. If y'all remember back when I was doing the juice last year, I was letting y'all know, like, I felt led to pray for more gifts of the Spirit. I was praying for interpretation of tongues, because I'm like, when I speak tongues, I think I know what I'm saying, but I would love to, like, know that I know, you know what I'm saying? And as I was praying for that and, like, looking into the verses and, you know, studying about that, I just kept seeing, you know, prophecy and things of that nature. I'm like, I feel like that's kind of, you know, greedy to ask for all the gifts, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with, you know, speaking in tongues, and I'm cool with, like, trying to interpret or whatever the case may be. But you talking about prophecy, X, Y, and Z. But I was bold enough to go ahead and pray the prayer. Next thing I know, your girl been dreaming like almost every night, multiple dreams. I wake up and interpret, and it's like speaking into me and my life and my future and everything. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy, you know. But at the same time, it's a beautiful experience. So again, if this is something that you want to experience, I believe that he can do this for each and every one of us, y'all. This ain't just for me, you know what I mean? I feel like the Lord wants to have this relationship with each and every one of us. So with that being said, friends, I mean, that's pretty much the juice. I mean, you know, the Lord wants to give us daily direction. It behooves us to look for his direction every day. And that's it. I mean, you guys can go deeper about this. Go to openbible.info and plug in daily direction and see which verses are standing out to you. You know, for you to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But let me give you guys a verse. And it's the Bible verse of today. It's John 20:21. It says, then said Jesus to them again, peace be unto you, as my Father hath sent me, even so sent I you. Friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.